right, shalom, shalom, and shalom. Coming back again, being so, I was live about an hour ago, and my sound wasn't connected. So if someone in the live can give me a thumbs up if you hear me, so I won't go through the whole video. And a lot of times, you guys, I don't pay attention to the live chat, and I think that's where I messed up with the earlier as far as the video. Someone literally telling me that they can't hear me, and me myself, I was just going on with my lesson. So if anybody in the live can maybe tell me if you can hear me or if you can't, okay? A thumbs up for yes, a thumbs down for no. I want to talk again, go back and cover this message because this is one of the message that the Ruach had given me. And I want to kind of ride real heavy on this message. I don't want to just give it up. I don't want to just release it and let it go. I want it to get out to the ear that hear. And I think it's important in such a time as this that individuals who are the living, those that are in the light, those that are of the spirit and truth of who the Ruach HaKodesh is, living in them, that they know a lot about the Creator in whom they say they serve. Because a lot of them would want to talk about it, they want to talk about Him. A lot of them want to represent Him, but really don't know Him. And to me, I consider that to be a sad thing because that's what's going on in the world. Everybody is speaking. They know the Most High. They know the Creator. They know the Father. They know uh, 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 Yahuwah. They know the I am that I am. They know the Ahaya Ahaya. They know all of these things. But yet, as time go on, you realize that there is such a heavy darkness here in the world today. People really don't know. They really don't know. You in the live, can you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you can hear me so that I won't go through the whole video with no sound? Earlier, I did the whole video without looking into the live chat and realized that there was no sound. So maybe you can give me, and you said hi, shalom and shalom. If you can let me know by giving me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you can hear me. But this topic is about the face of Yah. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This message is about the face of Yah, which is the face of the Most High Yah. And I would like to apologize again for individuals, toward individuals who never heard a message like unto this. They never heard of the face of Yah, the face of the Most High Yah. They haven't heard anything about it. And to me, a prophetess in the wilderness, is sad because that's who I know him as well. You know how everybody's trying to lock you into a name, who he is based on a name. But see, that's the thing about it. They all have taken on the name without the power. See, and they get on these platforms and they want to teach about this creator without knowing who he is, first and foremost, knowing who he was. Because you really don't know who he is until you understand who he was. And this is what's going on. Everybody is jumping into these administrative positions and saying that they are prophets and prophetess, they are apostles, they are bishops, they are priests, they are pastors, and they have no spirit and truth resting in them, y'all. The spirit and truth have to rest in your spirit. And you have to have the light in your right hand. You know how he said you are the light to the world, and your light just can't be hidden. I don't know if you all ever realize, none of you all would take on such a statement and use it and apply it. You know why? People are so embedded in the way that they move in the flesh, where they don't knowing that they're supposed to be a light, they are not concerned about that. They are not concerned at all about anything that's spirit, nor spirit and truth. But you remember when the world called Jesus Christ, Yeshua, I call him, when he said the time is now because of his presence, because of him being on the earth. And he said, and the time shall come in the end where the true worshipers shall worship in spirit and truth. Right then, he was sending you a sign that in the end days, it's going to be the individuals who's going to be bringing forth spirit and truth. You know why? Because all these years we've been in the church, we've been serving this creator out of our flesh. We never learned that it was about serving him from the realm in which he is, which he was, and which he shall be. See, the whole church thing and the whole religion thing, they keep out. They don't want to touch the spiritual realm. But did you know that's the only realm that deliver you? That's the only realm that can save you. That's the only realm that can redeem you. That's the only realm that you can touch of the Most High Yah. You can't touch the Most High Yah in your flesh. You got to be able to deal with him in your spirit. Do you know why people cannot be healed? Because they pray into him in the flesh. They want a relationship with him in the flesh. They don't want to cross over to the true side in where you deal with him. Let's say for instance, if somebody is real sick and ill, and they wondering why didn't I get delivered? Why is this still coming back? I've been praying and fasting. The church been praying and fasting. The pastor, and we're not getting anything delivered. Why is it our loved ones are not being saved from death? Why is it the miracles and signs on the earth is not manifest? The Son of Man said that we should do greater signs and wonders. You want me to tell you why? It's because we forsake the spiritual realm in which the Son of Man had with him. See, the Son of Man came as the Son of Man, born of the flesh in the womb of a woman. Now watch this here. What was in him was the spirit, which is the Son of, the world would call God, but the Son of Yah. That was Christ and Yeshua. They gave him the power, the word, and his spirit. That's what people are missing today, y'all. They don't have the power, they don't have the word nor the spirit because they don't want to go over to that realm. They don't want to teach in that realm. They don't want to preach in that realm. They don't want to say anything stepping over in that realm. Do you know people will not take heed to the power of these very words in which I speak it? You know why? They don't want to cross over from the flesh realm to the spiritual realm because they love so much of the flesh realm to where they don't want to take even a peek over to the spirit realm. But they, you know why? Because darkness has won them over. They don't want a part of the light, even if the light wanted a part of them. They want no part of the light. You know why? Because darkness has won them over. I speak over and over about two different type of peoples on the earth. You even got the living and you got the dead walking right on the earth in the flesh. The living and the dead. Why you say that, Miss Deborah? It's because there's two type of people walking on the earth in the flesh. But what else is in the flesh? Their spirit. And when you have a dead spirit, you have a dead flesh. When you have a living spirit, you have a living flesh. So just imagine why the gate is so narrow. This is the reason why the gate is so extremely narrow. And this is why many enter not in. It's because the side where the flesh is at, where the flesh resides, people are so comfortable there and there only because it fits in with their worldly life. You know how you're either of the world, but not in it. But what is actually happening is people not only in the world, they are truly, truly of the world. And this is why they can't step out of the world into a realm of spirit while on in the world. I mean, while on the earth. The spiritual realm is a realm. It's a bee coming close to me. The spiritual realm is a realm that has that power. It holds the power of your creator. The spiritual realm holds your thoughts. It holds the intent of your heart. It holds your mind. You know how the world is just overwhelmed by AI, and Google have sold all of everybody's business to AI, to where now AI have you. And if you think, look how they so fascinated with AI. They look at it as a all-knowing system. But look how they downgrade the creator, who is the all-knowing. It knew AI before AI was even a letter A. He knew all of it before the foundation of the world, that a system would come and try to mimic the kingdom. See, the kingdom knows any and everything. So when the world come up with something that's is to think or to say that it knows everything and it knows everybody and it has the answer, then we on this earth have fully accepted another so-called God and serving him to the high utmost. A lot of them will talk against it, but guess what? They loving on it. They loving on AI. And how is when you see them post their YouTube page and they pulling all these AI pictures and putting them on their platform and speaking behind it. They bringing AI into your mental state, whether you deal with AI or not. They bring in all of AI into your home, into your mental state, into your eyes, through your eyes, whether you like it or not. This is why you can't look at this platform as something positive, good, and perfect. It's the opposite. It's darkness, it's wicked, and it's evil. And see, the people that comes on these platforms, when you are dark and you are dead, all of this is life to you. All of this that AI is doing, this is what your flesh needs. So the topic of this message is the face of Yah. And I'm going to identify my Most High Yah and the creator in which has allowed me to get to know him for who he is. And it's not to the point of who he is today, but who he was yesterday. I'm grateful that he has allowed me to step in that spiritual realm. And that leads me to understand, even when I leave off this earth, I'm going to the spiritual realm. You see, I've been in the spiritual realm. It's probably before I was born. I know it was before I was born, but as far as I can go back, it's 4 years old. So there's a realm that I've been in, and I'm 65, almost 65. I'm 60, I say I'm 65, and therefore there's a realm that I've been in for quite a long time. People estimate and try to bring you to a level of where they're at in the flesh. They want to see you, the same one that supports you, the same one that bring you up, they can bring you down, because that's what the darkness will use. Them same ones that brings you up be the same one that would try to bring you down, not knowing the effort to bring one down that you know is what feeds your spirit. You will go down before that individual go down, because that individual is appointed and anointed before the foundation of the world. And people, you will see yourself come down before you see Sister Deborah fall down. Okay, so I say unto you, this message is strictly about the face of Yah. I want to go to Revelation chapter 20 and verse 11. In Revelation chapter 20 and verse 11, it reads, "And I saw a great white throne." This is John in Revelation, who's getting all this information from the kingdom. In the spirit realm, he brings the information from the spirit realm. Notice I said John is bringing information from the spirit realm. Do you know that that is how all the priests, the pastors, the bishops, the apostles, the evangelists, the Moorings, the seers, the watchmen, the prophets, the prophetess, do you know all of us were supposed to bring you food from the spirit realm? And I'm gonna tell you, 99.9 reject the spiritual realm, and they only bring you food for your flesh, because your flesh is in love with lies. Your flesh is in love with being the word deception, lying. That's how it feeds and get its nourishment. That's how it survives in darkness. It's not ready. It don't want spirit and truth. It don't want the light. It want darkness to take care of it. Don't worry about that, because there's two gates that was created. There's a gate, those two gates you can't see, people, going back. They spiritual. And this is what the so-called religions and the churches never taught you all. That everything you have to wrap spiritual before you wrap it natural. But what we did, we took on the natural. Same thing with Adam did. Adam didn't take on the spirit. He took on the natural to the flesh. But we too take on the natural. But when Yeshua HaMashiach, which is Jesus Christ, came, it took our place. And now he redeemed us back to the light. Those that are not in the light today, and thinking they're trying to get to the light, or they're looking for the light, or they're running to the light, let me tell you something. The light is not for you. The light is not for you. The light is for the living. Okay? And the dead is for the dead. So people are waiting and thinking that they're going to step in such a time as this, and they're going to win the world over, and they're going to teach the people. You can't. You missed something. You missed that which was, and that was the Father, which is spirit. You missed him. You never learned who he was. You just think you know who he is. But according you to know what was, you have to have a full understanding what was. Before you know who is, you have to have the full understanding of what was. And that's what they are missing also. And they're missing it, and Yah knew that they missed it. But he didn't let them go back. I noticed that. He didn't let them go back to pick nothing up, to catch it up, or for you to get it right. He said, Deborah, your words that I give unto you is not making the crooked straight. It's just bringing light out of darkness. That which was in the dark shall come to light in the last days. That's what he's wanting me to do, is bring light out of the midst of darkness in these last evil days. And this type of light and this type of spirit and truth is not going to make the crooked straight. If the crooked is still crooked, let it remain crooked. Yah is not sending anointed, appointed, predestined, and ordained servants to make you straight if you ain't straight already. All Sister Deborah is doing is feeding your spirit, so your spirit won't return anorexia. The spirit that returned anorexium is because they have no food for the spirit. They didn't receive any. So they go back anorexium. What do that mean? They dead. They died. They're matching their eternal destiny. Dead. So in this message, I want to show you what you all have missed in time past. And what you missed was Revelation chapter 20 and verse 11. You missed who the Father was. You think you know who he is. But what happened, you missed who he was. Let's see who he was. In Revelation chapter 20 and verse 11, John is in the vision in the kingdom, and he telling us what he saw. And he said, Revelation chapter 20 and verse 11, and I saw a great white throne, Deborah, and him that sat on the throne, Deborah, from whose face. Now, John is telling you there was one that sat on the throne, and his face alone, hear me now, his face alone, the earth and the heaven fled away. Why would the earth and the heaven flee when it saw he that was sat on the throne? Why would the earth and the heaven take off running? And it says, and there was found no place for them. There was found no place for them. What happened? What took place, John? Tell them, Deborah. That once the earth and the heavens took a look at he that sat on that throne, his face, it already knew. Get your butt up out of here. The Father didn't have to do what he did at the beginning when he created everything. He said, let, and it was. Here, they took one look at his face, and the heavens, all these different levels of heavens, and the earth took off running, fleed, and never to be seen again, all due to the face of the Most High Yah. You would never, ever in your living hear a pastor preach that. You know why? It gives the power and the glory to the Creator. It gives the power and the glory back to the Creator. So they're not going to cover that. They're not going to teach and preach that. They won't touch the rim of that at all, because they don't like the idea of any glory and power be given to the Creator. But John wanted us to understand that the earth took one look and the heavens took one look at the one that was sitting on the throne. They took a look at his face and they took off. And it never did they have a place ever been found for them. I like that because it allowed me to know him the way I knew him. It allowed me to know him the way I knew him. I see the Father as one that not only the heavens and earth, but the stars, the moon, the sun, the ocean, the sea, the trees, everything I see. I don't know about you. I don't know where you stand, but I see the Most High Yah. Just him alone they serve. Just imagine the trees knowing how to worship Yah. Look at the sea and the waves. They know how to speak to him and worship him. The sun, the stars, the moon. They know how to respect him. But he that he gave his breath to and his truth to have no respect for his face, nor his power, nor him himself. And that's man, male and female. So when you look at the world today, you look at it at the level of disrespect of the Creator. So when you see this world and you see all the things going on, you need to apply that to this is due to them disrespecting the Creator. How is it that everything knows how to worship him, honor him, exalt him, except for humans? Because they're sick. And they're not the type of sick that's like ill sick. You know, one sickness is cancer. Whether what the people and humans are today is beyond cancer. They see wrong to be right and right to be wrong. They see bitter to be sweet and sweet to be bitter. They see the dark to be light and light to be dark. And you don't tell me that's not a sickness beyond a sickness? It is. It's the greatest illness and sickness that's on the earth. Because if I tell you the ocean, the sea, the moon, the sun, the trees, the wind. Everything know how to bow down to the Most High Yah. Everything knows how to recognize his face. Everything know how to identify his power. But those who hold something so precious to him, which is a breath and the truth that came with the breath, but they have no respect, no honor, no worship. And many would portray to believe that they are holier than thou, that they got their one-way ticket to the kingdom, and can't nobody tell them nothing. I like what the Father constantly keep telling me. If they don't hear you, they don't hear me. Because the Father is not in the business of feeding your flesh. Okay? He's not in the business of feeding your flesh. If he is not residing inside of your spirit and teaching you your purpose, your purpose, your mission, your chosen position, your work, your labor, your fruit, then you are nothing but a fool inside of a fool, thinking you somebody. It's not important who you are, it's who you belong. Which side do you belong to? What book are you written in for eternal? So let's get back to the face. So I enjoy John being in the spirit, explaining how the heavens and the earth took one look at my Father, my Creator, my King, my everything, and it took off running and never to be found again. I'm speaking of the heavens and the earth. So what you think he's gonna do with you? What in the rats behind do you think that he's gonna do with you? So when I get to Genesis, here in Genesis, and Genesis, let's go to Genesis 32. In Genesis 32 and verse 30, I hear Jacob. Jacob had a heavy day and a heavy night, all the way into the dawn, the early dawn of morning. Jacob was traveling, and he knew that his brother Esau was on his back. Esau was on his way to kill Jacob. Jacob knew already in his spirit that that was it for him and his family. And he knew that the only way I'm going to get out of this is through the Most High Yah. So Jacob wrestled all night and day because he wanted a response from the Most High Yah. He wanted that help. And in Genesis chapter 32 and verse 30, Jacob called the name of the place where he wrestled with the angel, Pinnacle. For I have seen, Jacob said, I have seen Yah, which is God, face to face, and my living is preserved. What Jacob is saying in Genesis 32, I wrestled till I even hurt myself, but I didn't care. I needed y'all. Deborah, tell those people I needed a blessing. I needed the Most High to come through for me, because I knew he knew it. Have you ever had a feeling so heavy that something is going to happen, and when something happens, you think about that feeling? Well, that's what Jacob was wrestling with. He was wrestling what he knew. He know he was not that far from Esau, and that Esau, when he caught up with him, that he was, and he would have killed Jacob. But what Jacob also was concerned about is that he wasn't just going to kill him. He had his wives and his children with him, and he knew Esau would have took all of them out. So he knew that he needed a deliverance from the Most High Yah. But what Jacob said, Jacob did not say. He said that he blessed him there in that land, on that land. He blessed him. Why? Because he sent that power to assure Jacob that he was going to meet up with Esau and erase the heart of Esau toward Jacob. And you know what Jacob was willing to do? Is exactly what I'm doing today. Jacob is willing to tell Yah that he's seen the Most High Yah face to face. You know why? Again, I'd like to apologize to many of you all out there who have never, ever heard truth. I know you think you're holding truth and truth is holding you. You're a sad sight. First and foremost, Jacob is explaining that seeing Yah face to face is honoring and worshiping and bowing down to the power that delivered you. See, you remember in Revelation chapter 20 and verse 11, you saw the earth and the heavens. The Father didn't say, let thou be removed. No, he didn't say anything. The earth and the heavens took one look at the Father's face on the throne, and they took off. He didn't have to remove the earth and the heavens. He's not going to have to remove the earth and the heavens. The earth and the heavens going to remove themselves when they take one look at his face. You know why? His face is where the action of his power reacted. So they just take off in Revelation chapter 20, verse 11. If you ever want to see how the earth and the heavens is going to get wiped out, they're going to take off running once they look at the face of him that sits on the throne. So Jacob is trying to let you all know the face of Yah is his power. It is the action of his power. I know that due to all of my testimonies. Going over a cliff, which is like a mountain. You know how you go over a mountain and you go off the cliff? Hello, that's me. My testimony, not that, but many, speaks of not only seeing him face to face, but knowing him face to face. What do you mean? What makes you see him face to face, Sister Deborah, and know him face to face? Is because I wouldn't be able to tell you if I didn't know that his power is his action of his face. I have to know him that way before I can say that is who he is. I know his face is the action of his power. Many of you, and let me show you how wrong many of us have been. There are so many situations that the Most High has gotten us out of. So many. There are so many times that he reached that right hand of power down on us. And he did it in the spirit. That's why I say you have to get to the spirit, guys. You keep sitting here listening to these clowns in the flesh teach you on these platforms, teach you in these places of worship, these temples, these churches. You go right ahead. Sit right there. We beyond the days of Noah. You're going to be there when he comes. Sitting right there. So, listen to Jacob is a blessing to me. There's two types of people on the earth. There's the dead and there's the living. What Jacob is speaking to is the living. Because only the living knows the Father this way. You get what I'm saying? Only the living knows the Most High this way. The dead has no idea. That's those who've been in the church, those who've been not just only in the church, but those who've been in the church, those who in worship, those who on YouTube, all of these YouTubers, all these Hebrew Israelites, I'm saying them all. Because they're not teaching the people spirit and truth. And they have not the light in their right hand. You remember when it said, you are the light of the world. See, they want to capture the flesh of the tribe of Judah and say, we're the light. No, you got it wrong. The light is spiritual. It's not flesh. So you see how far people can really be away from spirit and truth. And well, this is more than 9,000 years, people still following the lie. But he did warn us that it would be like the days of Noah. Did anybody come out of the world to go into the ark? No. So I, Sister Deborah, should not look for no one to take heed to nothing I say. And I vow my last Sabbath that my goal is not to try to get anyone to come to a side that Yah has not drawn them to. Stop trying to reason with people who ain't got no business at all coming to the side in which Yah has orchestrated you to walk therein. Let them stay where they're at. Stop catering to them. Stop trying to be something, because people are caught up in their emotions and their feelings. When people are caught up in their emotions and their feelings, that means they are born of the flesh. Because emotion and feelings is attached to the flesh. It has no power in the spirit. Okay? So here in Genesis, I like how Jacob left the living a word. I like how John, that was in the vision in Revelation, left the living a word. It's letting us know spirit and truth and the light, that we may teach others that are of spirit and truth, the truth. Okay? So when I find myself going to Psalms, the book of Psalms, chapter 105, when I get to 105 in verse 4, it says, seek Yah and his strength, seek his face evermore. Seek Yah and his strength. You see the strength? That's his power. Seek his face evermore. Because I said in the year 2026, which I've done probably a good 40, 50 videos last year, explaining the face is the power and the power is the face, and how the word worked with the power and the power worked with the word. Sister Deborah has done a lot of work trying to identify the realm of the spirit of who our creator is. And this is why he don't want me to try to play patty cake, bake a man with individuals. Because the game is being played, and the game is real heavy, and it's getting people thinking things are going to get better. No, things are not going to get better. And those that are of the flesh keep looking for everything to get better. But what can get better for Sister Deborah is stick to spirit and truth and the light, and it will see you through the darkness. See, it's the spiritual realm that's going to see you to the other side, not your fleshly realm. That's why everybody is preparing everything in the flesh, and their spirit is anorexia, waiting to walk in the eternal death. And they have no problem. They are enjoying, like the Solomon said, on the earth, everything under the sun. They are enjoying it to the utmost. And it's okay. Let them enjoy it, Deborah, the way Solomon said. But that don't keep Sister Deborah. It does not take away Sister Deborah speaking spirit and truth about the Most High. Yeah. Stick with spirit and truth. Stick with the light. Get away from many that wants to play the game of emotions and feelings. Because people who like to play those games are people who are embedded in walking in the spirit. Not in the spirit, in the flesh. They are so rooted with the flesh that that's their only way of living. But that's the way they came down here. So when I get to Psalms 105 and verse 4, it says, seek Yah and his strength. Seek his face evermore. There it is. You guys, all this time that grace and mercy was poured out to us, and we don't even understand what that grace and mercy was, that grace and mercy is. It's still spiritual. It's spiritual, you guys. That grace and mercy is spiritual. And we have not been taught it anything in the spiritual realm. But guess what? Before anything was, before anything is, it was. But what was it, sister? Spirit. You see? When he say seek ye the kingdom first, after you seek ye the kingdom first, he said, all shall be added to you. What can you tell me the kingdom is? The kingdom is not earthly, y'all. It's spiritual. You see how all of these churches, these pastors, these leaders, these bishops, these so-called prophets have lied to you all. Seeking ye the kingdom means seeking the spiritual realm first. Why, Father God? He says, because in Matthew chapter 6, the prayer says, let it be on the earth as it is and was from the kingdom. So why do you even say the Lord's Prayer, as they call it, when you have no sense to comprehend it in the realm in which it stands for, which is what? Spiritual. You see how lost people are? This is how lost the mindsets of people. This is how lost. People intend to really have this thing of playing games. Right now, it is so important to me, and I'm just so grateful that he is really preparing me, and it seems like I get more happier by the day. Why? For him to show me the darkness ahead of time, then I can embrace it as the days go on. So a lot of people would tell you, I don't want to hear all the bad news. I don't want to hear all that. You're saying that my flesh don't want to hear the reality of what's really going on. So don't tell me it. So your flesh tends to continue to live in it. But as Psalms 105, verse 4 says, seek Yah and his strength, seek his face. Then he tells us, seek ye the kingdom first. Father Yah, how is it we're going to seek you when you're spiritual? The kingdom is spiritual. Why are we seeking everything on this earth and claim that everything on this earth is what represents you? Because we reject spirit and truth and the light, which is both spiritual. Now, you yourself can't even make that make sense. You can't. You know why? You've been living the lie so long. It becomes your truth. When I get to Psalms chapter 27 and verse 8. Psalms chapter 27 and verse 8. No, that wasn't one that but I'm going to say it anyway. Psalms chapter 27 of Psalms and verse 8. When thou said, seek ye my face, my heart says unto thee, thy face, Yah, will I seek. Psalms 27 and verse 8. Telling David to seek my face. Praise the mighty Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. He's telling David to seek my face. Psalms 27 verse 8. When thou said, seek ye my face. David is telling us. He told me to seek his face. My heart said to the Most High Yah, thy face, Father Yah, I will seek. Never, ever in your whole living have you heard a message like this. And this is wrong. This is the evil and darkness that's in the world. They don't care if they ever heard it or do hear it. This is the heart of people. They don't want to know the face of my Yah. He tells them to seek ye the kingdom first. Which way should I go? Which way shall I go? Because they blind. Their eyes are blind. They've sat in darkness so long, darkness appeared to be light unto them. So then I go to Psalms 80. Psalms 80 wore this thing out. Psalms 80 wore it out. David touched many levels in Psalms chapter 80. I want to start with the first one I have listed is Psalms 80, verse 19. Turn us again, O Yah of hosts. Cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. Do you all hear that? That's a very powerful statement. Listen to this. Psalms, we're going to stay with Psalms 80. Psalms 80, and I believe that each and every last one of you all need to take Psalms 80 and place it on your refrigerator. Read that bad boy, because this is really good. Psalms 80, verse 19. Turn us again, O Yah of hosts. Cause thy face to shine. Just telling him, let your face shine that we shall be saved. Just because the Father's face shine, it will save you. David asking him, let that face shine up, Father, and we'll be saved. Do y'all get what I'm saying? This is a message that shows you who's who and what's what. When I get to Psalms 80, I want to stay with Psalms 80, because in Psalms 80 and verse 3, when I get to Psalms 80 and verse 3, I feel almost that I'm losing it. Psalms 80 is really a chapter that you all need to really put on your refrigerator. It will bless you. Because me just speaking it in this message, it's blessing me. Because David is quoting it all up in Psalms 80. Turn us again, O Yah, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. In Psalms 80, chapter 7, Psalms 80, verse 7. Turn us again, O Yah of hosts, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. Then I get to Psalms 80, we still at 80, and verse 17. Let thy hand be upon the man of thy right hand. Let thy hand be upon the man of thy right hand, upon the Son of Man whom thou made it strong for thyself. The Son of Man whom thou made it strong for thyself. This is David speaking to the Most High Yah about his own right hand. What is this right hand? This is the right hand that each and every last one of you all, throughout your whole living, you didn't know what it was. You didn't care what it was, because the right hand of the Father and it's stretched out on, or is in there a good, probably more, I think it is, more than 500 times. How could something be in your study guide more than 500? I think it's more than 1,000, really. That many times, and you have not did your in-depth study. But you call yourself rulers, leaders, kings, pastor, priests, apostles, evangelists, teachers, Maureen, seers, prophet, prophetess, and you don't know a rat's behind about the right hand of the Father nor his stretched out arm. You know why? You teach us in the flesh. And Yah hasn't come to abide himself in you to teach you spirit and truth in the light. So you teach out of your flesh. So many of you women out here and men that's out here chasing the position of a prophet and a prophetess, let me tell you, sit y'all tails down. You're going to have to answer to the lies in which you have instilled in people and how you supported Satan in teaching people the flesh. What sense does it make for him to say anything about seek ye the kingdom first for us to seek the flesh? What happened to the spirit? That's seeking the Father. He's spirit. The kingdom is spirit. He right then told each and every last one of you all, seek ye the spirit realm, and everything in the flesh will be added to you. And that's why you are here today. But the beauty of his end for you and I is where he showed us. He ain't gonna let you, he ain't gonna come and patty cake, bake a man with you. He ain't gonna come and make you think you're somebody or make you think, you got it going on and you all that and some. No, he ain't. He ain't about to play with you. He gone on and say he'll catch you on the other side. And guess what? Before you can get to the other side, you gonna learn this side because you ain't learned nothing yet. Now let me go to Second Chronicles. I need to cover Second Chronicles chapter 7. Second Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 14. In Second Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 14, it says, if my people that are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then shall they hear from the kingdom and will forgive their sin, and they will heal their land. You know why we passed 300 years, you guys? 400 years? Because he ain't heard not a cry to come into a unity. Not one cry would form into a oneness to reach the kingdom. The other day, which is a week ago, was it about a week and a half ago, the Father was telling me how Satan asked him if he would move the boundaries and let him do a little more darkness. And the Father did not allow him. He didn't give Satan another space to do more darkness than he has already done. And I am so grateful for that. I'm so glad he put a stop to that. I am. Because I don't know what would happen if Satan still get another chance to do more than what he's doing. Because this little old hand, let me tell you something. In the spirit realm, that which y'all cannot see, hey, I feel sad for you. No, I don't. Nope. I better forgive me, Father. Please forgive me. You know that I can't do that because it's the realm in which is set up in His will. People are right where they need to be. When I would go to Him and say, when they didn't teach the people, they didn't teach people. He said, no. See, what the Father is telling me, when they come to the kingdom, it's not going to be about his pastor taught him this, his Islam taught him this, Muslim or a Christian or Catholic taught him this. In Yah, you're not going to try to come to the kingdom and make a fool out of nobody but yourself. He's measuring us one at a time for us and us only. So we are not going to be able to stand before the Most High and think that we're going to lie. But I know it's somewhere in there telling you you're going to be able to justify yourself. That's why people are enjoying the world. That's why they are straddling the fence. And that's what I'm learning. I'm learning that for it to get worse than what it is, and for to keep teaching me what I'm seeing and teaching me that, how bad it is, it's because even people who I think that's good going to flip into the darkness. That's just what it's going to be. It has to get to where my Father says it's going to be, not what you say. Not what you said, but what my Father has said to me. So just imagine how I must endure and long suffer the fact that everything ain't as pretty or as holy or as spiritual as you might think, Deborah. Leave that room because it's getting there. I can already discern it. I can already discern it. Because it's better for people to look at an individual and make that individual the bad person or the darkness, the evil, the hateful one, because it's better to make the light appear to be dark. Because if dark is already in you, your job is to make the light as dark as what's in you. Facts, reality. It's no way the Creator would send someone down with His word. You all got the word. The word that you all have is in your book. Sister Deborah don't have that word to the point where it overrides the word that's in me. That book will never override the word that rests in me, in the spirit of the Father that rests in me. So I'm grateful that He teaches me from that level of the spirit, because I said something to you all about how He says, seek ye the kingdom. Where did that come from? It don't come from your flesh. And that's what people insist on seeking. Let me tell you something else. I learned that there are people who keep overthinking things. They have a mindset to always overthink. A lot of those type of people loses their living, meaning pass away. And before they pass away, they normally lose their minds. Why? Because they overthink it. These are people who don't have to overthink. Just take it away. The spirit is speaking it. You don't have to go on top and overthink it. That's when you're stepping in front. You're trying to step in front of the Most High Yah. Get your tail in the back, way in the back, so you can learn something. Don't try to go in front of Him and think that you have what it takes. Because what I'm learning is no matter what spirit and truth and light you put on this platform, and I've heard so many people quote how many videos they have, and then I was saying to the Father, my old page has still all those videos. My new page has 350 videos, and yet people are more blind than they were yesterday. Today, you say that you see nothing manifesting outside of darkness. Honestly, seriously, that's the feel I'm getting. That's the feel the Ruach is allowing me to get, why He is greater in me. And that's the level that He has to keep reminding me that never, it's not going to get better, it's going to get worse. But I am given the eyes to see and the ear to hear what? Spirit, so I would know. I'm grateful for what David was saying, because what I believe that David got probably 300 or 400 verses in Psalms telling us about the face of Yah. I sit back and I say, they got a book that they say is the word, but they still don't see your right hand, Father. They don't see your stretched out arm. What is going on? They don't see your face, Father Yah. They don't see nothing David said. They don't see nothing Solomon said. They don't see nothing Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah. This is a support system for me. It lets me know to not expect them to see what you're saying. I have to match them. They have to match me. Why? We're the servants. for the spiritual creator. I have to be able to see them today. They saw me yesterday. That's why I can go to them and hear things like I just showed you what Jacob said, what David said. So they left things for me. They left things for me. And I'm bringing to a sin-sick world what they endure, and what they were saying then is no different than what I'm saying today. This is why it's over. Because people think that the Most High is so stupid that he has to keep on bringing these things over and over and over, sending his servants like crazy to a crazy world. For what? How dare you expect out of the Creator to keep feeding you spirit and truth and the light, and you show none at all. It's nothing about you that's showing anything that represents him. So Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of it. And you know what? I believe I'm a look myself. If David is in there telling us about the face of Yah, I'm sure Moses talked about the face, Isaiah talked about the face, Jacob talked about the face, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, all of them have talked about the face of Yah. Why haven't you talked about the face of the Most High Yah? But what happens? He sent his little prophets to bring forth spirit and truth in the light. Why? He wants you to know what they said was not in vain. I still have a ram in the bush that steps into your time and speak spirit and truth with the light in my right hand. So Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of it. And if you didn't, go over the video, share the video, think about the video, go over the verses, come to the understanding what the face of Yah is. Not so much as what it is, what it was. Because being what it is have not helped not one of you all in this day and time. And it could have helped you back in a great way. But because you know nothing about the face of Yah, you wasn't able to apply it in the spirit realm. So I just gave you one of the gifts from the kingdom. I don't know how the kingdom going to allow you to apply it. But Sister Deborah said, I'm grateful for the Most High Yah allowing me to speak spirit and truth with the light in my right hand. With him in me being greater in me than anything that's on the outside of me, and giving it to me to give unto, I would say, the living. And what I'm learning, really, when I say it like the living and the dead, you're subject not to find the living. Because the role played in this day is people are going to appear to be the living. They're going to appear to be it. But be careful. Because the living has something, some action. They have something to say that they are the living. Don't take the dead, Deborah, and make them the living, or try to get the dead to come alive. You can't do it, Deborah. Praise the Most High Yah. And Sister Deborah, say I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I will be back. So I say to you, shalom, shalom.